Oz again, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of The Download. Today we're going to talk about exploration, but more specifically about exploration, the using of the probe scanner and Relic and Data sites. Why I'm focusing on those specific two types of sites is because as a new player, that's really what you're going to be able to have access to, because you can jump into a Tech 1 frigate. You know, you get one in the tutorial missions, they're super cheap, and you can go run these sites and make, 100 million ISK in an hour or something. For example, I was just doing a little bit of exploration, and I got all this stuff in about 30 minutes. That's about, estimated price 70 mil. I could punch it in the appraisal, and it'll be around there somewhere. So, and that's just 30 minutes. 30 minutes I did all that. So 70 mil, that's not bad. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and talk about, first off, the ships, the types of ships that you should be using for this activity. If you do the tutorial missions for exploration, they'll give you one of your whatever race you picked. But if you're not too sure what the name of it is, we'll go ahead and go over them real quick. For the Amar, that's going to be the Magnate right here. This guy, pretty cool looking little ship. Okay, for the Caldari, that's going to be the Heron. Another cool looking one there. The Galente is going to be the Imicus. I'm not going to comment on that. Typical Galente ship right there. And the Mimitar is going to be the aptly named Probe. So what makes these ships basically like, dedicated scanning type ships is that they get a bonus to core and combat scanner probes, the strength of them, basically how fast you can scan things down, and they get a small bonus to the Relic and Data Analyzer modules. So we'll go over that. When, if you really want to get into like 0-0 and low sec kind of exploration, because in high sec you're really not going to make, a lot of money, I guess, a lot of ISK. You can make ISK, you can make a good amount of ISK, and but you're not going to make a bunch in high sec. But if you're going to, go to like NPC 0-0 or low sec, you're going to want to upgrade to a covert ops ship, okay? And that's the Anathema for the Amar. It looks just like the Magnate, just a different color. The Buzzard for the Caldari. This is the Tech 2 version of the Heron. The Helios for the Galente, and the Cheetah for the Mimitar. That's the name. This is actually the one I use. So, and what makes these ships so good is they do get additional bonuses to using the probes, and they get a bigger bonus to the Relic and Data Analyzer modules, but they can also fit a Covert Ops Cloak. Now, a Covert Ops Cloak is unique is that it allows you to warp while cloaked. So, very useful when you're hiding from people, I guess, because these ships are not made for combat. They are made just for like kind of exploration and everything. So, they it's really very, very useful to have that. You can basically cloak up, and if somebody's in system, you can go hide from them, maybe warp out to a different gate or something like that. So on my particular ship, I have, let's go ahead and open it up. I have a very, I want to say basic type fit. I have for agility, so I can align, I can go faster. I don't have enough CPU, but I would think about, if I could squeeze one in there, put a warp core stabilizer right there. High slots, just a cloak and the probe launcher. That's all you need. In the medium slots here, the mid slots, I have a micro warp drive. I highly recommend micro warp drive because that allows you to get from can to can faster, and I'll show you what the cans are. I have the data and the Relic Analyzer, and I have an open mid slot here. If you were going to put a if you're using a cheetah and you needed an additional slot there, I don't know why I took it out. I should probably put it back, but you would want to possibly put like a what's it called? Let's see, find it. The range finding array here. So I don't have enough CPU. It looks like maybe if I offlined one of these and then switched back and forth, I could fit the range finding array. That's just going to allow you to find sites faster. Also for rigs here, I have the small gravity capacitor upgrade 1 rigs, and these ones also allow you to find sites faster. So, the main thing about these ships are the probe launcher. I just have a basic expanded probe launcher, but inside the probe launcher I have sisters scanner probes. These are faction probes. I highly recommend purchasing these. There's no reason for me to have 32. All you need is 8. I think somebody had got blown up once. I think I was warping to a gate and I saw a wreck and they had probes on them, and I just haven't taken them off yet. So, but I should probably do that. So yeah, I have sisters core scanner probes. They're about a mil, I think a million ISK per probe. So go ahead and check that out. They're pretty amazing. They just help with the whole process, and they allow you to find sites quicker, and for the initial investment they're not too bad. Now the expanded probe launcher, I have an expanded probe launcher here. It allows you to fit both types of probes. Not a big deal, but I could fit 32 in there. I highly recommend purchasing the Sisters expanded probe launcher, because this probe launcher will give you an additional 10% strength of scan probes, so that'll allow you to find sites even faster. I think it's running about like 40 million right now. You might be able to find it cheaper, so if you can find it cheaper, definitely pick it up. But this is definitely a module to look into getting, the Sisters expanded probe launcher, or even just skill it for the Tech 2. It gives you a smaller bonus, only 5%, but it's definitely better than the Tech 1, which doesn't give you anything. So yeah, that's basically it for the ships. Yeah, let's go ahead and show you a little bit of how to actually scan something down. So what you want to get familiar with here is if you go to your scanner button and go to probe scanner, okay? Now there's 2 sites here. What you want to look at right here is this area. There's this relic site. This is actually what I already scanned this down, but there's another site here, this cosmic signature. This is what we're going to be looking for right now, okay? So what you need to do, you have a couple buttons up here. You have analyze, reconnect the lost probes, launch spread, launch pinpoint, a custom probe formation, and a button for your map. You're going to go ahead and want to press launch spread formation, okay? And your probes will pop out in space, if you can see them there. And then go ahead and press analyze, okay? These guys right here, this cosmic signature, these are the ones you're going to want to look for exploration. They are those are the ones where you're going to find the data and the relic. There sometimes will be some other sites that are automatically there, and those are called cosmic anomalies, or anoms for short. And that's another way to make ISK that we'll cover in another episode. But right now we're just focusing on relic and data sites. Okay, so once you do your initial scan, your analyze, go ahead and press the map button. And if for some reason your map is on a different system or something else, just press this button right here, focus on current location, and it'll take you right to where you're at. Alright, so this is what you should be seeing. Let's go ahead and move that over here. Is the solar system you're in with a couple bubbles here. Remember I said you want 8 probes. You can do it with less, but it's very easy with max amount of probes, which is 8. Okay. Now, a couple things will happen if there's a site in location, or a site in your solar system that you're in, is that you will either get like a red sphere, it'll look like one of these but it'll be red, a red dot, or a red ring. And that all just depends on you know, what the initial hit, like the signature was. I only got a 1.1%, so I got a red ring here. So what you need to do now is just click launch pinpoint formation, and it's gonna like bring all your probes in to the formation, to the pinpoint formation. Okay, and what you need to do here is that once you get to the pinpoint formation, okay, we're real lucky here, and this just happens to be in the center of the solar system. But you may, like for example, let's say it was over here where we initially launched it. Okay, you would want to drag it with this little icon here in the middle, this guy right here, and just drag one of the arrows. I always go from like a top-down view, and you basically want to center that thing in the middle, the site here. If it's a ring, center it in the middle. If it's a dot, get it in the middle. If it's a sphere, you may have to drag this out some, but you want it in the middle of, where all these probes are overlapping in here. Okay, all the probe spheres. Basically what you're trying to do is triangulate the location of the site. I don't know the word for octangulate, maybe. I don't know if that's a thing, but you want to just use all your probes to kind of converge in on the location. So kind of get it as close as you can while staying in the center. That's kind of overlapping a little bit, so I'm going to zoom out. There you go. And how I'm doing that is I'm just left clicking and holding the edge of one of the bubbles, and they'll all do it together. Okay, so let's go ahead and analyze, and the probes will warp to their location. I did a major faux pas here, by the way. I have a ship that has a cloak, but I didn't press it, so there you go. I want to point out, if you're just still using Tech 1 frigates, you can use a standard cloaking device on it, and it's actually highly recommended. The only difference is the standard cloaking devices won't allow you to warp, but you can warp to a safe spot and cloak up while you're doing your scanning. So, which is very, very highly recommended. Even if you're going to use a Tech 1, at least get a cloaking device, even one of the standard ones. Okay. So it went up a little bit here. And now what we need to do, we need to recenter our probes. We're going to recenter our probes here as best we can. Doesn't have to really be dead nuts, but okay. Recenter the probes, and then we're going to go down a step, just down one step. You can see here those white lines. Those are the different levels of the probes. So we were at this one, we're going to go down a step right there. Okay, and then we're going to analyze again. And this is pretty much it right here for finding sites. You just readjust probes, center it, and then jump down a step, so on and so forth. Now I'm in, see, and then that moved. Now I gotta go up. And you're just kind of finding the site. There's a couple skills you can train which will make it so it doesn't move as much when you're scanning it down, and we'll go over those at the end of the video. And then we're just gonna go ahead and do that. Just rescan. Yeah, no, so, as far as scanning sites down, this is the basic, this is pretty much it. I think exploration, while we're waiting for me to scan this fucking site down, I think exploration is a very useful thing for everybody to get into, just these ships. Because with these ships, you can scan down wormholes, which are like an awesome way to make ISK as well. We'll do an episode on that. And all different types of things with these scanning ships, and exploration just opens the door to all that sort of stuff. So wormhole space is pretty unique, is that it's like 0-0 to where it's like 0-0 to where there's no rules, but there's no local. So like right now, if somebody was to come into local, I would be able to see it. No, don't mind that. I'd be able to see it. And Okay, so here's a wormhole. We'll just continue to scan this down. Why not? I'd be able to see it if somebody came in wormhole space, excuse me, that I wouldn't be able to see somebody warp in. Okay, so there might be like 400 guys in system and they wouldn't show up. I wouldn't know until somebody says something in local, you know. Oh, like, you know, until somebody says something in local. Can I have fucked that up any harder? There it is. Then then they would pop up in local. So, but yeah, in wormhole space, that's where you make like you make a lot of ISK in wormhole space, but it's very dangerous. Not really for beginner players. At any time, if your camera kind of, see how it's kind of off kilter here, you can left click the site, double click it, and it'll center it, center it over the site. Right now I'm at 81%, and I'm as low as I can go. So if I scan this last here, I should be able to get it. I should be able to. There it is. Now, if you were at the last step and you didn't get it, what you can do is if you hold shift, you can slightly bring these guys in just a little bit each way, kind of, bring it in some. And then, you might be able to get that last couple percentages, but there's going to be some sites that you won't be able to, scan down if you don't have, like, perfect skills. So after I'm done with my probes, I'm going to go ahead and press recover active probes. You want to watch out for this timer. This is the probe life duration. If that runs out, you lose your probes. Not a big deal if you're using cheap probes, but these are about like 1.5 mil or 1 mil. So I'm going to save that, that ISK. You can also destroy active probes if you wanted to for some reason. I don't know why you would want to. They come back to you instantly, so there's no need for that button, I don't think, personally. I've never needed to use it at all because that's just as fast. So, and then reconnect the lost probes. If I had like left system and didn't bring my probes with me, and then came back, I could press the reconnect the lost probes. So, anyways, we're here at we have the wormhole scan down. So let's go ahead and warp to it. We're just gonna check it out real quick. I'm gonna warp to it at 50. And this is the cool thing about the covert ops cloak. I'm allowed to, I'm able to warp cloaked. So here we go. And then we'll do this relic site real quick too, and I'll kind of show you how to do that. Whoa, look at that. So that's a R943 wormhole. I don't know really what that is. I know I said that like I did, but I don't. I have a bookmark though that I highly, if anybody's interested in this kind of stuff, wormholes, wiki.eveuniversity.org/wormhole_types, and it'll tell you what kind of types that is. So that's a R943. So that would take me to a class 2 wormhole. That's not bad. That's something I could definitely do by myself. But it's not too. It won't be here until after downtime. So just in case, I'm going to save it. Wormhole C2. And see, this as an explorer, this is the kind of stuff that maybe you would do for your corporation. You'd find stuff like this, and maybe you guys can cause ruckus in wormholes or do stuff like that. The fun things with some wormholes is that they don't all necessarily lead to wormhole space. They might lead to another area of space, so you can use them as shortcuts. Sometimes here in 00 we'll find wormholes that lead to HiSec, so we can just go directly to HiSec from 00, which is cool. It's really fun. So anyways, let's go ahead and warp to this relic site. It's going to give you a little, when you warp to something, it's going to give you a little brief description here. You can always too right click these and then save location. You don't have to warp to them to save location. And the reason why you'd want to save location is because if you had to leave system or log off, you can always right click and then go back to your location. Okay, so we'll close that for now. We have, this is a basic relic site. There's no enemies in these sites. That's why I highly recommend them for new players. And this particular one is the best type you can find in Angel Space where we're at. So I'm just going to go ahead and approach this one. Okay. Now, I recommend having remember I said a micro warp drive for this reason. The farthest one is 70, about 80 kilometers away. So with the micro warp drive, I can quickly get to the location. And each one of these little things, these are referred to as cans. So I'm just going to go ahead and approach the location here. I personally stay at about 2,500 meters away. That allows me to, if somebody comes in a local, I can quickly align out. As opposed to where if I was like orbiting, I know this is going to be like something kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of heretical, I guess. I don't like to orbit things in situations like this to where I'm going to align out, because if I'm orbiting, and if I click the wrong thing to align out, my ship's going to stop and then turn. My ship has to completely slow down, then turn around, then align out. Whereas to where if I was just completely stopped, all my ship has to do is just turn on a dime and leave. So that's just something to keep in mind. We're at a relic site right here, so we need to use the Relic Analyzer. If you try to use the data here, it's going to say, hey, it doesn't fucking work. Vice versa, if you were at a data site, you would need to use the Data Analyzer. Okay, so we're going to use the Relic Analyzer right now, and it opens up this little mini game, the hacking mini game. And this is probably my favorite part about exploration. For some reason, I really like this thing. So let's go ahead and look at this here. On the left-hand, corner here, this bottom left corner, you have kind of like, this is like your HUD, I guess. Here you have your Virus Coherence, and at the bottom you have your Virus Strength. Basically, this is your HP, and this is your attack power. Okay? And there's a couple skills to be able, to get these up. And then you have the main, I guess, game board, or whatever you want to call it. You start here in this location, or somewhere, it's always randomized, and you basically go node from node until you find the system core. And then once you attack the system core, you can get what's inside. But let's go ahead and jump in, and you'll see the different types of things that you can run into. I clicked this first one, and there was a 4 that popped up. That 4 means 4 spaces away somewhere there is a beneficial sort of item that I can pick up. So let's go ahead and see if we can find it. There's 3, 2, 1. Is it here? It's here. Okay, now this is a data cache. Leave these until the very end, until you have no more moves, because these can be either helpful or they can be a hindrance. There might be something bad inside it. So, that right there is this is a bad thing. This is like a firewall, I think this one's called. And basically this has 90 HP and 20 attack. Every time I attack it, it's going to do 20 damage to me, and I'll do 30 damage to it. So it's just kind of like a war of attrition. But there's a lot of these. There can be a lot of these. So I don't really want to attack it unless I have to. And that's why I say leave these alone until the end. This one right here is the antivirus. It has less life, but it has more attack power. 40. That could do me in 2 attacks. So we're not going to mess with that one. We're just going to go a different route. I'm leaving the data caches alone. Here's one. Here's a beneficial one. This is a kernel rot, and it basically just halves the coherence. So it would turn it to this one to 30, and this one to 45. So we're just gonna keep going our own merry way. We're kind of getting boxed in here, This fucking guy. This is a virus suppressor, and basically it halves your attack. So you want to kill this guy as fast as possible. I'm going to go ahead and use my kernel rot, and then just attack him twice. And then we're going to look for the system core. It's around here somewhere. So I've got another kernel rot. That's good. Fuck. I think it's over here somewhere, so... There it is, right there. There's the system core. They always have about 90 coherence, and they only do 10 damage. So that's with my attack, with my strength, that's 3 attacks. Now something I want to point out is if you kill or destroy one of these um, antivirus things on your last turn, it won't do damage to you. So if you only have 5 coherence left, but this has 30 coherence and you do this much damage, on that last one it won't do damage to you. That's something to always remember. And then after that you want to make sure you have the can selected and then open cargo. And then I didn't make too much ISK on this one, this particular can, but whatever, we'll move on to the next can. That's the beauty of these things. You can just just keep moving on. So here we're gonna go to these ones over here. A couple things, people will fit a cargo scanner on their ship and what you can do is basically go up to each one of these and scan it and see what's inside it to see if it's valuable. That's called cherry picking. I personally don't do that. I think that's like a big douchebag move, because twofold. First of all, how would you like to be the guy that came in on that and all that was left was like the shitty cans? Okay. Second of all, it's sort of a hindrance to you because how it works is with these sites is that when one disappears, it'll respawn somewhere else in your region. Okay, so what could happen is you're doing these sites and then you finish these sites and you go to the next system and all the some sites just spawned or something like that, or say you go from system A to system B, you clear the sites in system B, you go back to system A, and now there's new sites. Okay, that sort of stuff happens when you clear the sites. So you see here I'm kind of boxed in. This kind of sucks, so we're gonna go ahead and this guy right here, this is just like basically invulnerability shield. I can't take any damage when that's on. So fuck. Well, I'm gonna use the kernel rod on this guy, and there it is. Perfect. I got lucky on that one. So yeah, don't be a douchebag and cherry pick. I think it's kind of fucked up, to be honest with you, because if everybody cherry picked and there was only shitty cans left, okay, there would be no sites spawning except for the ones that were shitty in your region. Not a big deal, I guess, if you're in high sec and low sec and you're just kind of roaming around and flying around. Like I used to do that. I would just kind of fly from like one end of low sec to all the way across the map. So I mean, not a big deal like that. But if you're in 0-0 and you kind of just stayed in one area, then yeah, that's kind of fucked up. And I know personally, the alliance I'm in, there's rules against that. You can't fucking cherry pick, just because of that sole purpose. You're kind of just fucking over your corp mates and shit, or your alliance mates. So we're just going through. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but on none so far have I had to use these data caches. Sometimes you have to, and you're kind of put into a situation to where you're like, oh fuck, man, you gotta just cross your fingers and hope your gamble pays off. But okay, I'm thinking it's over here. There it is. Yeah, that one had 70 coherence, that system core, and that's kind of an easier one. Sometimes they'll have good loot, but more often than not they have kind of like a low tier loot, I guess. The ones that are going to have the big bucks are going to be the hard ones that are red, and they have the 90 coherence. And that for Angel Space, that's the ruins, the Angel Ruins, I think it is. Those are the hard ones. It's either ruins or remains, I can't remember. I guess we'll find out on this one. So far I haven't failed any of them, which is like, you gotta look at. There's no way to go. This is fucked up. I haven't failed any of them, which is pretty good. So I spoke too soon. I couldn't go anywhere. I had to fail that. That was fucked up, dude. Anyways. Oh, motherfucker. Yeah, this is the can that kicks my ass because I said something about it. Anyways, if you fail a can, fucking, so I can't defeat this thing by myself. So I gotta see. Okay, this is good. This utility subsystem self-repair. Okay, so I lose pretty much. So let me explain what just happened. This guy right here, he cuts your strength in half. I already was damaged from killing it before, killing a different one. So I clicked on the data cache. That's what I said. It was like a gamble. Okay. Now I found this. I clicked on this one. I found a utility subsystem of self-repair. Every turn, basically, this thing will give me HP. Okay. That wasn't enough though. So then I clicked the other one, and this one. This is like, you know, worst case scenario. This is a restoration node, and every turn it restores some HP to this guy. So, you know, I can't do enough damage to it fast enough before because I just gave it 20. That just gave it 20. That just gave, you know, I can only do 15 damage to it. So, I can only hope that I find something very useful. I gotta just sort of start whittling this thing away. If I come back from this, this is gonna be amazing. Oh, that's it, GG. G fucking G. There's nothing I can do about it. I just might as well fucking... The only thing, when you run into a situation like that, these don't affect the system cores, so, and there it goes, it blows up. So, you know, there might have been fucking 50 million ISK in that thing, I don't know. I fucking just lost it. That sucks. Those restoration nodes don't affect the system core, so that's kind of why at the end I just, you know, I just clicked all the open ones, was just in case that it was there, I might have had a chance. So let's see, Angel remains here. I'm gonna try to go full speed on this, like as if I had, you know, would normally do it. This is a good one, by the way. This, oh, we already talked about that. That one gives you a shield. So I like to hold on to those ones. Motherfucker. I'm gonna use it now. Fucking dickheads. I'm gonna just fucking... That's just what I needed. Okay, this is some bullshit right there. I'm not okay with that. That's some fucked up shit, dude. Oh, hello, system core. So I only got 7 HP. I gotta figure out maybe... Okay, this is good. Do that. Oh, man. Look at that. I have enough, though. Just enough to kill it. Oh, fuck, man. That's what I'm talking about. Right there. Alright. What's in this guy? About 4 million ISK. Not bad. You know? Not bad. For a little bit of work. So... the thing, exploration, it's completely random, I want to point out, guys. You know, you can fly 10 hours and find no sites. Or you can be like me, I was just flying around and I warped into this system, and I found fucking like 5 sites. So, there was only 2 here because I had done all the other ones already, so you know, it's not too bad. Let's go on to the next one now. It's very calming. One moment here. Alright, sorry about that, I had a phone call. So just finish that last site, no big deal. And then we have this last can here. Actually, you know what? Stop this, and I can just have them slow boat over there. That'd be nice. So a couple skills to help you with this hacking. Obviously, you're going to want to train up your ship skills. Learn how to use this thing right here, this range finding array. And I think that's the astrometric range finding skill. We'll get down to that. In skills, you're gonna want to go to the scanning category here, or subcategory, scanning subcategory, and then there's a couple skills you're gonna want. Okay, you're gonna want archaeology to run relic sites. You're gonna want to train that up. Okay, and every time you train this up, it gives you additional virus coherence level. As astrometric acquisition is not really needed per se, I would at least train that up to 3, and that just makes it your guys fucking scan faster. So yeah, you need these anyways for those scan acquisition arrays. So go ahead and or those other ones too I was talking about. So train that up to at least 3. You'll see a benefit in the long run. Astrometric range finding, I'm training that up right now. You know, I kind of neglected a little bit. I was able to get by with what I had, but you know, this one, these two right here. Obviously, you want this one up at least 4. I mean, I don't think it's that. Let's see what we're at here. Got some training some stuff right now. Scanning, astrometrics to 4. That's not too bad. I got hacking to 4. That's good. The reason I don't have a lot of stuff at 5, that's 17 days for an additional. Yeah, I mean, I might make more profit, but man, 17 days. And I use this guy for everything, you know, so I can't really just give 17 days to that for an activity I don't do that often, you know. But astrometrics, you want to at least 4. It's going to give you, basically make you scan faster, okay? Same thing with astrometric range finding. This will make you get, you know, allow you to be able to find more sites, and you know, scan them down a little quicker. That's the big thing though, because there's going to be some sites that no matter what, unless you have high skills, you're not going to be able to narrow them down enough. Astrometric pinpointing, when it was jumping around, if you have this astrometric pinpointing and what's the other one? Astrometrics 4? I guess so. Yeah. It will, you know, the site won't jump around as much if you have this trained up. Hacking, you're going to want up as well, you know, to 4 at least. I should really change that one up to 4 as well. Hacking's for data sites. And then certainly, there's a survey one here. That's for those fucking cargo scanners and everything else. Yeah, don't be a shitbag and cherry pick. So we'll just go ahead and do this last one. And I'll talk a little bit about some other stuff too. As always, guys, the corporation I'm in right now, GERFA, or Giant Robot Factory, we're recruiting. We're out in 0-0 right now with Test Alliance, and it's real fun. You know, we don't really have any skill point requirements or anything like that. The only requirement is that you're not a douchebag. So check us out if you're looking for a new home, and you know, you've been flying in space for a while. If you're a veteran, or you know, that one was worth about 4.5 mil. Or even if you're a new guy, you know, you're trying to find a home, somewhere to go, come check us out. Message me in game. I was Walter Adridian. I'll get you pointed in the right direction. We're really very newbie friendly. You know, it's something that I think is very important to help the new players learn the game and not be so standoffish. Look at that frame rate. It's amazing. And not be so standoffish. That's very important, because you know, we constantly need new lifeblood into the game. So, but check us out if you want to make some dankisk and get some good kills. We're always PvPing. We do, you know, mining ops to break up the monotony. We do like ratting ops to go make some money. It's very relaxed, very laid back. and you know, a really good group of guys. So check us out, Giant Robot Factory. Also, you know, like I said, if you have any questions, you can message me in game at Oswald or Adrian. My frame rate is absolutely fucking atrocious right now. Jesus, maybe I should zoom in or something. Maybe I should just fucking press escape. Yeah. Jeez, what the fuck's going on, man? Maybe I'll just open up ISIS. That'd be nice. That should slow everything. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, message me in game, Oswald or Adrian. Or, you know, leave a comment. If you have a question, I will do my best to answer it. If I don't know the answer, I will, you know, find the answer from somebody, find out from somebody, and get back to you as soon as I can. So, as always, guys, like I, you know, always like to say at the end of every video, fly safe, fly smart, and most importantly, have fun. Because if you're not having fun, what's the point? Remember that. It's just a game. Even if you get blown up, I know it sucks, but it's just a game. And it's, some people forget that sometimes, you know? It's just a game. So, fly safe, fly smart, and have fun. Alright, guys. Have a good one.